remind everybody who's just tuning in, hasn't lost a single match here in our C Challengers playoffs.
Yeah, they haven't really lost one, and I think this is the best form that we've ever seen from BREN. They're looking like the dominant team. They're looking like the favorites to actually win the entire tournament, but it's not a clear-cut, like, I think, picture like how we thought X10 would do it. But BREN are for sure proving everybody wrong, because when BREN comes into playoffs like this, there's just this whole, oh, BREN, they don't do well in playoffs. When things get hairy, they start to panic a lot. But it's clearly not the case here today. Especially in a very, very important map. This is the finest form that we've ever seen with BREN, and it doesn't look like they're making the same mistakes. It doesn't look like they're giving up the same easy rounds. They're still losing pistols, but they're still being very convincing about everything else.
Crazy Guy delaying the use on that recon dart at around, he used it, I think, around the minute mark rather than at the start of the round itself, which is kind of good. They want to keep tabs on BREN mid-round. Makes a lot more sense. Dwarf, though, going to get spotted on Garage. Dubstep able to convert, and look at how quickly they just scatter onto the other side as BREN pincers in from A here. There's still going to be the lurk of Dubstep all the way on A link, and this leaves a bit of a pinch play. NTK could be in a world of hurt, and nobody's about to pick his position up, and he gets flashed, gets in on out of there with the dash, but Red Neville's getting spotted, and Dubstep still holding this angle on B side.
Yeah, Dubstep with that lurk already finding two. They know they're hunting for him. They finally deal with him. It's been annoying for Big BAAM right there. Still gets 2 kills, making this a 3v4. Quick trades, and Borkum, he's going to go down as well. It's going to leave us into a 1v1. Borkum in a 1v1 against Pina. That could have gotten very, very scary here. Pina finding 2 important frags on that retake. But that just leaves us with BREN. They've actually won a pistol. They've actually won a pistol last round.
Yeah, they did. Because here's the background to those wondering why we're laughing at that. BREN's pistol win rate has been negative for a very long time now. And us seeing them win a pistol is one of those blue moon type of deals. Once in a blue moon type of deals. Also, to add to that, good clutch from Borkum, because it seems like even though BAAM were at a numbers disadvantage, they were very close to clutching that. So Borkum always coming in clutch, left to always try to be that last man standing because he's the controller for the team. So he's always last to dip into the fights, last to survive as well. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have those fangs, when he needs to prod them out.
Indeed. Still full eco here for Big BAAM as they look to just get a little bit more information, and they're trying to poke and prod away here towards short. They got a little bit of a double setup here, but should be identified fairly soon. They do not have the Trailblazer anymore, so now they know that there could be someone close here, especially after that flash. NTK is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. After I say that, he just goes down immediately. Still, now they know that the Sova is close. He's going to be pushing close up. Somehow, still Crazy Guy is able to pick up 1. And pretty much mopped up already. This anti-eco round is already done and dusted. A great job here by BREN to keep things clean, keep their economy stable, especially coming into the later, especially in the starting point of this map.
Well, Pina is going to try to just come out of this hallway, but he has no pass. So that's going to be an immediate deny. And BREN...
your hall pass.
Yeah, exactly. 2-0 for BREN. That means that BAAM will be able to go now for their gun round. This is quite huge for them, but BREN has all the perfect tools, I'd say, for a bonus round. They didn't really lose much. They didn't take any substantial damage for their shield, so they're coming into this without really expending that much cred. So even if they do lose this, they still will have a good buy in the next round. So all they can really hope for, a couple of things, obviously win the round, but a lot more than that is just to be able to hurt the economy of Big BAAM, who are kind of struggling.
Yeah, I agree here, but let's go ahead and start talking about the gun rounds here, because we're finally there.
Oh.
Red Neville, crispy shot to land onto Dubstep here. It's eventually traded. NTK going to be able to get taken down here. And with a Spectre Dispenser opening up that A site here. Look at this quick teleport in. And Dorf, he's good for the hold on to one as Red Neville. He gets traded out as well as Dorf. And that's going to be all of the remaining players here for Big BAM. A slow, methodical take onto A. This is not something that is very, I'd say, quintessential of BREN. This is... Oh, that's big. That recon dart. I like how they go for that first, and then they go for the peak on it, and then the plant, because they knew that they had the utility to afford. Pina does have a little bit of utility left.
Wow.
He still has 1 star, but oh no, they know where he is. The double swing should come out immediately. And that's the trade that is going to come in all day, every day. BREN are starting strong here, Aserai. They've even managed to win their bonus round. This bodes well for them, especially on a map like Haven and in the first game of the day where Aserai, normally what happens with BREN is that it takes them a while to warm up. They normally lose, well, historically before, especially in VCT, they will lose map number 1. They'll lose the pistol as well on top of it. But none of that is happening. BREN are winning the pistols. BREN are starting the map strong. This is a very good sign here for BREN. This is, I wouldn't say completely uncharacteristic, but it's a good sign.
There seems to be a bit of hesitation for BAM here. You saw how slow Pino was in pushing in when he muted his opponent. One of his opponents were just planting down the spike. Could have gotten for the risk. And the positioning there from BREN, I like the 1-2 punch where the Spencer were just holding short until Jesse Vash gets pushed, and then as he plants the spike down, wants to go for more forward control on the site itself. This gives so much flexibility and refrag potential for BREN, rather than just, again, Dispenser holding on the short after the spike's been planted. You can really see that BREN has the communication and, I guess, site awareness of where they have to play, and this is a very risky dynamic now for BAM to try to traverse, because the big thing about that is BREN's just out of the box pretty damn good already, and BAM can't really take these super passive plays. They have to at least go for some risks, or else this might be not looking too hot. Anyways, there's going to be the push now on BREN. Looks like A is going to be the name of the game. Dubstep has used his dash already, but that doesn't mean that his lethality is all but gone. He's going to be charging in even through the flash, gets a 3K at the start.
That's a pretty sexy 3K on that anti-eco round here. What a way to start. Man, if Dubstep is hitting those shots at the very start of the day, you gotta be a little bit worried. Oh, how did Wits get... Okay, he was behind him. Yeah. That was pretty nice, I have to say. Big BAM are looking a little bit, I'd say, confused at, you know, how to handle this. And this is a little bit strange for them. Because if you look at teams that normally start off really strong, Big BAM is one of those teams. I'm interested to see what he can... Oh, wait. Before that, look at that. Cool, very cool, calm, collected entry right there from Dubstep. And... Okay, sure enough that the person holding close was holding a classic, and that's not a very easy angle to hold, especially from a dashing, jumping jet. Still a very nice triple kill on the anti-eco round from him.
They've given NTK the helm already with this operator, but seems like they're going to quickly bypass him as Dubstep pulls the trigger on the C site. They've already taken down Dorf. That's going to lower the Sentinel prowess. Oh, Pina! That was a really good Hunter's Fury from Jesse Vash. It doesn't really look for kills, but rather tags on positions where BREN has no chance to just look straight into the eyes, the reticles of BAM. Speaking of which, Crazy Guy goes a bit wild, but his attempt a bit futile in the end, as that only lives NTK with an operator to clutch. Not really the best of positions, and you can see with how he's been moving, saving it for the next round. Definitely need that weapon, because once again, BAM struggling, strapping for any form of creds in this game. They can't build up.
I really like the change of pace here. I really like the approach here by BREN Esports, because they've played the first 4 rounds playing very passively and you know, very, very slowly, trying to get information. They're holding defaults. And this is the... Oh, that recon dart is going to spot him. He is dead to rights here. Or will he lives? I can't believe Jesse Vash is a lineup for that also. That's actually insane. Although at this point, I really shouldn't be surprised anymore. But what I was trying to get at is I like the change of pace here, especially when they have been playing slow for the first 4 rounds. They decide, okay, we've seen enough of your defense to know to be confident in an attack, in a full up straight execute. Also, we want to catch you off guard. That's exactly what BREN does, and it nets them a very, very nice round that gets them 4 kills. And even with an operator on the other side, it's just a very, very decisive round. And that BREN, this is, again, another example of why they are in the best form they've ever been in.
It's a game of cat and mouse, but BREN's always been the one chasing. And BAAM here, they're getting caught, put back into their mouse hole. It's supposed to be Jerry that wins the situation, but Tom,
I don't think
his,
that's what cats do when
comeuppance.
they catch mice. But
Oh, sorry. No, I meant like, they're pushing.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it's nice that we'll stick with the PG version instead.
Oh,
but going here in round number 6 rather. They're gonna be trying to execute towards that C site. Hunter's Fury will slow them down, but Dubstep will mow them all down as well. He gets a double kill on that entry, and he is just lining up shots. Red Neville able to get another one before he gets traded out right there by Borkum. Nice shot by Crazy Guy. And suddenly this is looking a little bit worrisome as Borkum only on 20 HP. He's brought this back, only NTK with an operator to remain, and he is not long for this world. As the flank comes in from Dispenser, the operator is recovered. No, it's not recovered. They do want to deny it, but it is a 6-0 for BREN on their map pick.
Yeah. With how BREN's been playing, I don't think they need an operator right now. That'll just slow down the pace for them, and it seems like they want to go the way of the Fast and the Furious. Just quickly charging. That makes a lot of sense because again, I think they're trying to outpace the rotations of Big BAAM, who seem to be spreading themselves thin, which is the kind of default thing that you have in Haven, right? It is what it is with the map, but you can't really see the struggle for Big BAAM to get. They get a little bit of information. One dies on the other side of the map, and everybody just immediately panics and goes to the others. But BREN doesn't go like that. As you mentioned, man, they're playing in the best shape of their lives. They're just reading everything and dictating the pace of the game. And when you're in that spot where BREN is right now, it is so difficult to take back the reins as Big BAAM.
Now they go back to a little bit of a slower setup here. They played the last couple rounds a little bit quicker towards C. And now BREN decided that there's a lot of utility from Big BAAM. Good pickup right there from Red Neville. He gets up this Dubstep, and that's the entry gone. It's going to be a trade-off by Wits, but NTK is holding the line. Borkum's able to pick one up, but it's still a 2v3. Doesn't have ultimate, so the teleport not in the books for them at all. Recon Dart will spot out the location of Dorf and keep them humble for now as they keep the players here towards A. The rotation still very much possible. No flanks coming in, so BREN, they're going to have to dig a little bit deep for this one. Two very big ultimates here available for BAAM, so this should be their round if they play it right. That's the Lockdown, and as well as the Cosmic Divide. They cannot misuse it here, but with 12 seconds left, they're going to make a beeline here for B. Dorf.
One enemy
They're going to get the shot onto Borkum, was left completely unaware. With 4 seconds left, he's not going to have the time to plant. He is going to try to get that kill, but instead, Pina shuts him down. That ends up in a 6-1 here. The first round on the board for BAAM, Asarai.
Let's see now.
It all changed when NTK got himself a rifle. Again, NTK with yesterday's matches that they had up against, that was Full Sense. There we go. I did kind of see that there was some struggle points for NTK as he was playing with the sniper. He will hit some shots, but the impact of the kills that he gets with the operator is not enough to really sway his opponents into respecting him that much. And I think now that because there is like this double initiator, double flasher setup for BREN, putting him on a rifle just makes a lot more sense. And if Big BAAM always tries to go for the sniper, I think they might be putting themselves in a deeper pool if they're not careful with it.
Yeah, but there is Still, 4 big ultimates here on BAM's side. They've got massive, but there's massive amounts of money here for BREN. You know, even though Big BAM won that round, things are a little bit shaky for their economy here, especially after losing so many players here. So they're going to want to keep these rounds clean, and they're going to want to keep a lot of guns in their hands here. But they're going to gear up towards that C site, try to see what they can do, and it looks like they have them divided for now. It's Peanut to hold the back of sight, but looks like he's going to be taken down immediately by Dispenser here. Nice shot from Dorf to hold the line. He finds 2 on the hold. Finds 3 and Dorf with 4 kills up against BREN. That's 2 massive pickups here. But that leaves Borkum all alone in a 1v5. And that's the ace for Dorf. Starting strong here for BAM. And this is what they need to get back in the game. Just taking the fights on straight up against BREN. Shutting down that C-side take.
Doom and Dorf's Incorporated. There we go. That's the way to go about that. You saw how the motion for BAM was not to push forward, because they were afraid that BREN might just be looking for these anti-lurks, and it works so well in their favor because the timings. You saw how quickly BAM was kind of setting up motions around Garage. They were throwing out aftershocks perfectly up against BREN there. So whoever got the call to just, yo, dude, you got to put an aftershock right now. I'm kind of sniffing nothing on A. I'm not sniffing anything on B. We got some vision here. We got Crazy Guy that's going to be holding both of the sites. We need to have some form of control in Garage. And they heard a couple of pop shots, I think, from BREN there that signaled, again, the slight rotations from Big BAM. But as you mentioned, as you casted it, Dorf, what an insane hold at the back of the C site. Oh, this is going to be big, though. Rolling Thunder to start.
Yeah, but can they follow up on it? It's still going to be scary to push out a Garage like that. And this isn't the first time we've seen a little bit of premature utility, I think, here from Big BAM. We saw it a couple of times in the previous days here, so that was a little bit interesting to see. But now they're going to head on over towards that A site, see if they can actually keep up the pace. But it's NTK to be the operator here, and in this war of operators, it's Dubstep who is the better one this time around. NTK will be taken down here. They know that there still could be a player short, and now they spot him with the Seekers. Dubstep with a double entry on the op. Disgusting work here from Dubstep as he lines up another yet again. Crazy Guy. He's gonna be wondering what the hell that just was coming up from above, but imagine that. Dorf now coming in here. They actually managed to detain one, and it's still a 2v4 here. Dorf and Pina, but Pina, it's Dubstep's round this time, looking for the ace here, but he's not gonna get it, not just yet. Pina's going to be going down in the hands of Dispenser, and what a follow-up round for Dubstep. These guys are looking awake, Asarai. It's been a minute. It took them a minute, but we're finally here in round number 10.
I will shut up and take back what I said about them not wanting the operator for Dubstep because it might make BREN slow. It did not. With how Dubstep uses that damn sniper weapon, it is just too much to handle. Oh my god, Dubstep entry fragging with an operator. You don't see that too often in Southeast Asia, at least. But you know what's something that kind of jettisoned them, propelled them a little bit in terms of the rounds. And as you mentioned, 10th round in, 7-2 dominant performance for BREN in total. There will be some adjustments from BAM, and it's good and all, but the big problem with this is their economy is getting reset. They have no chance to build any type of buying power, and because of that, even if they can move properly, it just might not be enough with how BREN have been using their utilities just to kind of flush out these corners. So there have to be some off angles that they're going to try to set up. There have to be something that's just a little bit different from the standard set of play that might make BREN not read the situation properly, or else it's just going to be them winning this couple of set of rounds in the first half more and more.
Swarm grenade out. Placing swarm grenade.
This is the part of the match, Asarai, when Big BAM starts to consider just, you know, constantly buying here. This is when it starts to get scary. Oh no, Crazy Guy is dead to rights here. Yeah, playing that close angle is a good idea, but they're going to catch him off in that anyway. This is where, again, this is where Big BAM needs to will start to consider just going for full buys, because the rounds will start to matter more and more rather than the economy here. As Jesse Vash, he's got dubsteps back. Look at that connection here. Jesse Vash in the corner, flash again, and they keep getting flashed, but they still aren't getting the kills. As NTK's the last man standing only has a classic, and he might as well go down with the ship, but he'll take one down with him as he falls. Little bit of revenge right there. NTK homing in on dubstep as he manages to find the jet for the jet here. And BREN Esports, now they lead 8-2, man.
That was the mad Chad dash by NTK just to get that kill on dubstep, you know. It's a nice consolation, but in the end, as you mentioned, they're just not getting these rounds in. There will be some odd trade that goes slightly in the favor of BAM, but in the end, the ability of BREN just to take sites in Haven is so clean. And we go back to the topic that we were mentioning before this series started is, did BAM just really give up Haven, you know, just so that they don't have to play Icebox or something like that? And Haven as the first map is fine with them because they know it's such a heavy BREN-sided map, so just giving it up is the best option. Might be.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. It's going to be 8-2. Current scoreline here, but so far, BREN, they're looking like they're getting caught off, picked apart here. No way to revive them, no more ultis, and with shots like that from Pina, obviously BREN, they're going to have to fall back and just maybe try to save this operator. It's a good attempt on the round here, but still could be an 8-4. BREN are definitely going to be happy with the scoreline if it does come to an 8-4. They will be trying for the 9-3 though, and this would be a massive advantage coming into the defensive side of Haven.
At least gives them, as you mentioned, a few rounds to kind of cushion the blow just in case BAM gets that second pistol. I'm curious to see if BREN's second pistol is going to be as good as the first one that we saw when this Haven map started. Dubstep's going to try to at least pull the trigger in. Knows that NTK, actually he might not know that NTK is an operator, but he'll still try to make some damage as he does have the blades. But is he going to try to do something? I think he's just trying to bait someone in to just peek him, and he'll find himself a nice little target, make it expensive for BAM since they're not really in a good spot in terms of their economics.
Yeah, I think Dubstep will be happy to save this. First of all, he doesn't want to give up that operator. It's still a very expensive round here. And in the very last one, they want to make sure that they have everything that they need and more. So they're going to be going into it with more than enough because, you know, of all the rounds that they have been winning previously. But so will BAM. BAM is also going to have the best the best economy that they can have, the best weaponry and utility. So it's not really much of an issue here. What is interesting to me now is that there are massive ultimates for BREN's side. They got the Lockdown, the Hunter's Fury from the Shadows, and the Bladestorm if they ever need it. But looks like yet again they're going to be prodding their way towards C, sensing a little bit of some weakness here. It's Borkum to look to get the opening pick and just deny the utility. That's a Hunter's Fury now coming in. No. And he always lands one. Can he land two? He's almost gonna do it. He gets a tag onto three. Jesse Vash, one of the best players to have that Hunter's Fury on. He actually lands damage onto three players here. And if he lands a shock arrow, he's actually going to maybe pick up a kill right now. But Pina, he's going down pretty low here. He's brought up to 44 HP. And this is a great start right now from BREN as NTK, Dubstep, the operator duel yet again. Will it come in through? This time, Dubstep, he somehow wins it again onto NTK. Now that's just going to be from the Shadows going here towards A. And Azerite, Dubstep ain't losing these operator duels. Not today.
These peaks are just pristine. They're on point. Pina's going to be activating the Cosmic Divide, but yeah, that's going to be incredibly difficult. Just try to go around Dubstep with the turnaround, but the safety of the alarm bot keeps him alive. Pina, last man standing once again. He's going to be able to convert the one kill, but oh my goodness, this is just going the way of BREN, isn't it? That first kill onto Dorf was so huge. Him being the KJ, it has so much foothold on Garage as well as C side, but losing him, you saw it in terms of the movement for BAM. They had to at least get somebody off on a site, and leaving NTK was the best option that they had for a lone holder because he did have the operator. But when it's against Dubstep, as you mentioned, that can just hit those 1v1 entry peeking op shots, it just gets null and void so quickly.
I think Dubstep, he is just on another level here today. He's been having a really great run of form as of late. His matches yesterday, when he was getting pick after pick after pick, landing every single shot, really was a thing of beauty. And honestly, BREN eSports, they're looking quite unshakable right now. They've lost a couple of rounds here and there, but that's a good entry on to find Dispenser. That's still going to leave us into a 4v5. A little bit curious as to how that went down, but in the end, the utility, after being smoked off, now will leave us in a 4v5. They know where Dorf is, and it's going to take a second to clear him out, though. And they're going to... Oh, did he see him? Did he see them? Dorf? Dorf actually lines it up onto one right now, and he's going to be given a false sense of security. But then again, Dubstep, he misses the timing around this corner here, and this is pistol number 2 pretty much in the books here for BAAM. I don't think they're going to be able to get it. Not after NTK goes down like that. And Witz is there for 1. All right, he finds a second one, but still a 2v3 in time. Not in their favor. Now they managed to bring it closer. But this is going to be difficult here as he dashes on into his death. Good attempt from Dubstep. But in the end, Big BAAM will keep things relatively sane for now as they manage to pick up the pistol. A crucial win for Big BAAM.
Crucial anti-lurk there from Dorf as well. They just know that if they full send it as 5 on the C site, there will always be that issue of lurkers. And playing against the lurk, I guess, from C long, not really what they want. They want to catch it before it spreads. And you know what? Prevention is better than the cure. Some nasty shots from Witz there, but in the end, they just did not have enough time to retake the site. Might have been a possibility, but BAAM did a good job of just drawing out the clock. Dubstep has the Marshall, has kind of shown his hand immediately, and BAAM's adjustment is to try to go somewhere where Dubstep is not. But look at the rotation from Dub. He knows that he made some noise on A, so he quickly goes the other way and tries to catch, again, their opponents off guard. But that Sova drone, not going to get fooled by it.
Yeah, not exactly going to do the work that he wanted here, but in this pistol round, they just mow him down. Still, it's a good plan from BREN. From BAAM. And they're going to be able to secure their spot towards this side. So round here, Witz. Good timing to find one. Has a flash to get around the corner. To get a little bit closer. Dubstep. Not going to land those shots as well. But this should be the round here as Crazy Guy swings out. 9-5. Big BAAM have found a big entry. 4 rounds that separates them, Asterai. And it's been pretty much the story here that BREN have been reading them and doing a great job at dissecting the defense of BAAM. But now we go to the other side. Now we transition to the other half. Big BAAM have looked good on their attacking side as well. Now they no longer have to play the game of BREN. Now they can play to their own tempo. How is this going to change things up here? Can BREN keep up with it? But BREN, historically, they've been a defensive-sided team. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them start to really get a good feel here of BAAM and how they play.
There will be some difficulties here. NTK is going to try to go for the entry, but Dubstep's reaction time is just on a whole different level. Red Neville, he was setting stuff up, but this gets immediately denied. Dorf is going to just back away from the smoke here as he was spotted by the alarm bot. But what's kind of dangerous now is Borkum's already on the alert, the forward alert.
NTK just can't win a Dubstep duel. He just can't. Yeah. Like, they've faced off at the start of the rounds like so many times in a row, and Dubstep is winning the duel up against NTK every single time. This is absolutely insane here. And now they're just winning in the peaks. Okay, Witz, yeah, just casually peek and destroy C long.
Yeah, you said it the best round. He did the jump info, and then
yeah, just swings out right on top of it.
Exactly. Oh, Dorf.
Oh. Okay.
Spencer recalled the turret, and he still shot through it. The untimely cause, and they're not even gonna get that spike planted down. That is just brutal for Dorf.
Yeah, and that flawless round, keeping everyone alive from BREN, that, I can't stress enough, that is a massive boost to their economy. This is just them getting that much more security coming into the later stages of this game that just allows this, you know, to have a little bit of a padding at the very least here. Because on the defensive side, you will take losses a lot, and most of the time you will take at least 1 or 2, and you'll want to be able to give everybody rebuys.
They really do. There is still gonna be some buying power for Big BAM here. Look at that, just like just casually looks at his opponent. Borkum getting a lurk kill here. That tiny bit of satisfaction that you'll get from just, you know, oh guys, we got some, what is it, like 200, 300 extra creds per player, which is good. Just swiped away from their hands. Again, this is the best Vietnamese team. They have made it so far, but up against BREN, they're struggling incredibly difficult. It's not the end of the world. It's still a best of 3 series. This game 1 is 10-5, and we've seen comebacks worse than this happen. But they have to at least make it possible now, where their money is the best, or they're gonna go into a thrifty round, which they have never won, at least in this game, against BREN. So it's now or never.
It is, and we got a technical timeout, Asarai. So in the meantime, it's pretty early for a lot of the people watching. I know a lot of people tuning in around the world, but in our region, at least, it's brunch time. Asarai, brunch time. Hope everybody has had their brunch. Have you had brunch yet? Brunch is a very interesting word, isn't it? It's a portmanteau of breakfast and lunch. Did you know that?
Yes. Was I supposed to say no? And then you'll give me like
I know. I just wanted to make sure. Fun fact for
you doubt the extent of my knowledge, brother.
I mean, we barely got through kindergarten, so I wouldn't put it past us to know what brunch is.
I had a good one. It was pretty nice. Well, you know, I'm wondering if what Bren's been feeding, or what Bren's been feeding Dubstep, because
dude, I know what it is, 100%.
What is it?
Pancit Canton. Dude, that's the gamer in the Philippines. If you're not eating Pancit Canton as your gamer fuel, you're not doing it right. That's just how it goes, man. This is how it goes.
That is.
It's a Filipino thing.
It's a Filipino thing. Although, I would extremely advise you to not eat that every single day.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. I obviously you want a balanced diet. Maybe put an egg in there.
Oh my god! Are you serious?
Let's go back into it. We're about to start the game here. 12 seconds into this one. Before we get into this one, excuse me. And BREN, they've got the double digits. They're 3 rounds away from claiming the first game in their series, and they're looking very strong here. Now, Big BAM, full contact play. They're just gonna walk. They're gonna get spotted out here. Nice entry. Red Devil with the tap. Paranoia comes in. NTK is gonna be flashed up, and they're gonna get out of that side. You know what? We're done here. We don't want to hold this anymore. We've already taken a loss early on, and this force, this buy here from BAM, it's gonna allow them to get a little bit of control here towards the site. Dispenser is caught out. We'll try to swing out just off tempo, but at the same time, still have a lot of work to do, as they haven't really found not much information here. NTK is very low on HP. There's no way to get him up for now. No one's working that C-long flank, and time is ticking. They gotta be decisive here. They gotta be defensive. But looks like it's gonna be it. It's Dispenser with Borkum and Jesse Vash finally going in for it, but low HP on them and not a lot of time. Dorp is just gonna melt Jesse Vash and the nano swarms, and that's gonna be the round here from Big BAM, and BREN knows it. Borkum turns tail and head towards long here, hope to catch somebody off guard, but he's just gonna end up going and trying to save that anyway. They keep 2 players alive, and Borkum even loses that rifle there towards the end. BREN, they might be looking at a reset here, but just because they've kept everyone alive in that flawless round, they will most likely still be able to buy one more. Yeah, one more.
You are absolutely correct with that guess. I know that you can't read numbers, so That was a good one. That was a good
I actually just sort of look at the shapes and then assume that they mean something. I know that people call them numbers, but to
Yeah.
me, it's just like hieroglyphics.
As long as it's not like eggs, you know, it's not all eggs. That means that they can still buy something.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when they look
Elu.
like eggs, it's like eggs no good. Eggs not good.
Yeah. Good job, Elu. You know, here's a nice little star for you. Anyways,
Thank you.
this could still go extremely to the favor of Bren. And TK didn't really buy into anything. He used his double updraft already to catch somebody on a long. Not really what you want when you need a little bit of that verticality as you try to take the sites. I think as a Jet, you probably want to be on top of, let's say, the mid part of the site as well. Itself. Excuse me. Crazy Guy almost gets a little bit more damage as the wallbang came in. Dubstep has a nice little angle here that he will not be missing. The second shot on Red Neville almost as well to convert. And Crazy Guy, he's setting stuff up. He needs to find a pick with this ultimate first because this is going to be so difficult to push in as Wits has already activated the Seekers, exposing more the rotation, the positioning of the rest of Big Bam. But as they were scrambling, look at the map control for Bren. They push forward. Borkham's on the crazy lurk.
seconds left.
But it's going to get spotted. And you know that something was up, and this leaves us into the 2 versus 3. Big Bam have everything that they need, and then some. And this is the proper time for them to look for that comeback, as you were saying.
You're gonna hit it straight up, and what a way to get into it. There's still a 2v3, and they're gonna be trying to deal with that right now. Jesse Vash on the flank gets only one, but still a 1v1 here. Crazy Guy versus Wits. The 2 initiators for his team. Hunter's Fury fully blind there. He knows where he is, but gonna try to swing out wide on top of that and swing out and take out that recon. He does, but Wits is none the wiser as he loses his wits in that one. And Big Bam, they're gonna take another win here, bridging that gap, bringing us closer to that 3-10 scoreline. Sorry, excuse me, 8-10 scoreline.
There is just a how do you say this? A enigma that always happens. Bren just loves to go for that lurk. How many times has Bren tried to catch Bam from behind them? There was the one from, I believe that was Dispenser, the follow-up from Borkham, and then another one from Jesse Bash. They're not really letting Bam be comfortable with anything that's right near in front of them. But Crazy Guy, as a face-to-face matchup with Dubstep, denies him any gratification of that dash in play. Even if they had something with what's maybe on the flash, not really going to happen. It's a safe buy for Bren. They don't really have that much weaponry, but when you can, they convert it with the shots. Jesse Bash trying to be a bit more proactive with that second target, but it's more than enough as we do have our 3 versus 4. Not the end, but you can see how Big Bam holding steadfast in their own side of the map.
Yeah, this is the first time Bren has really been showing signs of weakness here. This is their map pick, so we'd expect them to take this rather convincingly, but Big Bam are really showing us that they are not a team that is to be trifled with. They are still a team that you should be worried about. It's a good setup here, interestingly enough, and Dispenser with a double with a frenzy. 1 bullet left, but Wits is there to back him up, and they've made this into a 2v1. Wits is still on the backer side. Can he get the timing? Doesn't look like it, because Borkham is going to be the only man left here. No rifles, no weaponry to be recovered just yet. Borkham's still only on a sheriff. But Pina playing this close to heart here. He's going to try and get the spike off. He does do it. Oh my God. And the timing, it doesn't go his way. Borkham misses that crucial shot, but make it expensive, they do. And they take 4 kills, BREN ESPORTS, as they go into it. But bam, that was certainly scary from them.
I just can't take a breather. Every single round that we have, there is just that ball dropping moment, that butt clenching scenario where there's somebody who can make it so impactful for Bren, and then there's somebody who can make it so impactful for Big Bam, but then there's like this one instance that could mess it up. You know how Bren goes in for those big lurks, how Bren gets the thrifties. For Big Bam, it's them being able to catch like multiple targets of Bren here with the clutches from Crazy Guy and stuff like that. There is just no solace for us to take a bit of a, I think it's a break in between the rounds. But Bren, they want us to go for that tactical timeout. Also the same for themselves, because now they're changing the dynamics slightly. They've been playing a lot more with rifles. Dubstep, we only saw him in the attacking with the operator, so now they're going to be equipping him with this. And this is where it could get a little bit more messy for BAM. If they're not careful, if they're not able to scan properly where Dubstep is, he can convert these kills so early that the dynamic, the pace of the game changes so quickly after that. Oh, that's nasty.
I'm liking that they go for the operator onto Dubstep finally. It's been a minute since we've seen it. And with the success that Dubstep has found with that operator at the very start of the game here, and the earlier side of it, I'm looking forward to seeing what they go and do and how they approach this. They don't want to play too aggressively yet, just holding off a couple of angles right here, but that orb is Cloudburst is going to allow them to get through towards sewers here, and that might be a spell of trouble here for Dubstep. He misses the shot right there. Pina is good for it. That's the operator gone here. The timing just eludes Dubstep this time, and now it's going to be a quick hit onto A. They're going to commit everybody to it right here. There's only one person lurking and watching the flank here. That's going to be the Hunter's Fury available. It's going to be used right now, but it's going to be a counter Hunter's Fury in response. And it's good to tag up and get onto one as well. Let's get the kill here. Now Borkum in the back. He's got the lockdown to deal with, and a player right behind him around this corner. Dorf, will he get checked right now? Nope, he will not. 2v4, and this retake is proving impossible to do. Jesse Vash finds one, but gets swung out by Dorf coming up right there from sewers. And Big BAM, they have come back into this in a big way. BREN eSports are looking a little bit confused right now because they have not gotten very many rounds in the past couple. Look at this. All of the rounds here in the second half, except for one, have gone to BAM. This was a 9-3 scoreline, Asurai.
My guy, I don't know what to say, man. But I did predict, this could be a map or a match, a series that Big BAM needs, as this next form of evolution. And well, it seems like they're evolving once more, It's a bit of that Pokemon styles. Anyways, what I also want to mention and point out here is very expensive round from BREN, no cap, because they basically put everything that they had, even the big ultimates as well that they could use, as well as the operator and the hands of Dubstep. But they have been losing multiple rounds in a row, which would be their round loss bonus maxed out once again. So we'll see how this pans out. But Red Neville, his anti-fragging's been pretty good here. And wherever he gets put in terms of an agent role, he still translates, which is really good because it helps out the rest of the team. But it's now going to be the back of the site, hiding inside the Cloudburst, not really going to find any solace. And, okay, the Sneaky Beakies with the Frenzy, not going to find its mark, as Dwarf is just about to catch Borkum, who was just straight up running. And this leaves Dubstep in a 1 versus 5, but we've seen the highlights, we've seen his Twitter account. He can convert, but we'll see if he can isolate the first target, which is NTK, who just gets on out of there. They know that they have to work around Dubstep like hunting wild game, and that game be contained.
10-10, we've got a tie game, Asurai. It has been a wild ride here. 9-3 to start it off, but all of the rounds since then have gone in the favor of Big BAM. The top team in Vietnam looking like they're going to take down their only remaining representatives of the Philippines in game number 1, potentially. Unless BREN can pull out something special here, it seems like they're struggling to find any glimpse or any glimmer of hope attacking side here, because Big BAM, not only are they hitting their shots, but they're making the right calls, they're making the right reads. And it's so difficult for Dubstep. He manages to find one as he drops down right there. There's still a 1-for-1 exchange, as one player does fall from that close angle there. They get Borkum down, so that's the controller gone. A lot of utility already gone from the equation here from BREN eSports, but still, that's the lurk, the anti-lurk gone. Dorf. This just means that the opportunities for a flank might just be a little bit better for BREN eSports.
It's looking ever so slightly better for them. Not having Borkum might be a bit of a pain. No more smokes is going to be something as well. They're immediately pulling the trigger onto the A side. There could be some footsteps that Dispenser is hearing. He has his ultimate up as well. So this is up to Crazy Guy to maybe watch out for and break it. And look at how Dispenser off-angles his ult because he knows that there is some form of lineup that is then and there. Shots from Wits, though, through the smoke. Unfortunate for Crazy Guy, and he's one of the players you really need to go for the clutch here in these moments. NTK is going to be running around, but he's backing up into Wits, who once again finds the targets here, Elu. And Pina is rushing, but there's already Dubstep denying him any satisfaction to even witness the spike once more to try to stop it from getting defused.
Brent's definitely a little bit worried here, but that round, gonna let them take a little bit of a sigh of relief for now as they get one more round closer to match point. But they've only taken 2 rounds this entire half. The attacking side of BAM has just looked so strong, as it has always been. The coordination of BAM, this Vietnamese squad, my god, they are really impressing everyone. And right now, Asarai, I can safely say, Big BAM, everybody, they better be ready for Vietnam, guys, because Vietnam are coming in a big way. They haven't had much time here in the VCT, especially in the regional circuit, but they are very close to taking a map up against BREN like that. Dubstep is getting tagged by that owl drone right there, punishes him completely, and he can't get away.
They knew that recon dart from Jesse Vash. I think they just gave up the position of Dubstep there because of how he kind of threw out his recon. Anyways, Dispenser lurking in the shadows of Sewer. Going to be able to find a pick, so that equalizes as 4 versus 4. But now, there is still a discrepancy in terms of the ultimate. Red Neville has his Rolling Thunder. It's going to be huge to take in the sights, but Jesse Vash playing a very long angle here in Heaven could give some solace for Dispenser, but he doesn't... Wait! He did not get dazed, not at all, and Dispenser could anchor this if he need be.
Right here.
Jesse Bash is going to be just pop out a couple of shots, but it's still not going to be enough. And they get the trade quickly enough before it turns into a hemorrhaging discrepancy for them. And now 3 versus 3.
They've got the first pick on this retake right now. Red Neville, he's managed to get that kill onto Jesse Vash. Absolutely massive, but Wits, flash in hand, waiting for the right time to throw it out. He gets one. Falls back into the safety of the Cosmic Divide. They know there's one towards Hell. And he swings wide here. Borkum knows where the last one is, though. But Crazy Guy still emerges victorious. He gets the recon ball here, taps away at the spike. And Crazy Guy goes down. Borkum will clutch the round once more for BREN Esports. How many clutches has this guy had under his belt? That's going to be a very close one as BREN secure map point here up against Big BAM.
They needed to hit that daze from the Rolling Thunder, that stun, that knock-up, just to flush out Dispenser's spot, but he had the minuscule portion that was not going to get hit by the Breach's ultimate. Either that was such a big brain play from Dispenser, he risked it, it was a gamble,
Right here.
or it was a misplay of Red Never, or both, that still turned tail in big favor for the rest of BREN here, as you mentioned. Again, Borkum able to convert, but without that single kill from Dispenser, that might have been a different outcome. In any case, both teams do have the weapons. Dubstep back into the operator. Borkum put into the long cubby. This, yep, that's Overdrone's going to be able to spot out NTK here, but full send, is it going to be the A site? Seems like they want to go for the quick fight here. Dispenser's going to delay with the Nano Swarm once more. Oh, never mind.
They've
Nano Swarm.
managed to stave off the attack for now. There's no Hunter's Fury to deny that. You could try to spam it, because that's spammable. But instead they're going to go off and to give up the site entirely. Dispenser getting lost, are you okay? Almost took the wrong turn for a second there. Oh no, they still find him anyway. That's gotta suck. I mean, that's completely on him because he gets lost in transition too. So this flank as well being checked out right here. Big advantage right now. Wouldn't blame them if they go for the early save. Flash coming out from Red Neville. It's gonna blind up. Not gonna get anybody right here. Nobody to be found. They have managed to wiggle their way onto site. Dubstep making a lot of noise here as he only finds one. And yet again, Big BAM bring us to a 12-11. Lot of clean plays from Big BAAM, and this team, they are such a unit. They are such, I'd say, so coordinated on those attacks, on those entries towards A. BREN, they are definitely looking shattered on it, a little bit discombobulated as Dubstep, look at this, no money on BREN's side. We could be going to overtime. This could be the first loss that BREN has had in this entire tournament if they keep things up like this. But he has the Blade Storm, so a little bit of a sigh of relief here. All the utility, all the ultimates being used in that last round here for Big BAAM to get them that one, but a lot of utility was expended for it. But now it's BREN. They pick up the orb and they get Seekers.
Public Brenemy #1. This is the one that is on the wanted posters that has the biggest reward. Dubstep has taken out the blades. He does actually have a Marshal. Not an operator, but I think in certain cases, Marshal is better in that regard. We'll see how this kind of pans out. They put everything that they have in terms of the KJ utility on C. So this gives a bit of solace for the B side, but they got to be careful because even if they set this up, Jesse Bash is playing such a close corner. NTK's been spotted with a recon. He's got to be careful, but did he get blinded by Borkum? That's going to be huge because now Red Neville and Crazy Guy have opened the site up, taken 2 down. Dubstep going to be having to wrap around all the way to A link, and it's all about the contact plays, but the problem is they don't have a Sage, no walls, and it's all going to be about the post plant, and we are going straight into overtime. What a round. That was so clean from
Red Neville, massive triple kill from him to get the game here to an overtime. Just an insane play. And now we're going to get overtime. And there is something about Haven, man. There's something about it that just takes us to overtime again and again here. Big BAAM, really a special team here. They have managed to find a comeback from a 9-3 scoreline, and it has faltered up against BREN. And now the ball is in their court. Can they run away with this victory? Big BAAM, the current #1 in Indonesia, looking to defeat the #1 in the Philippines and take away their first, take the first loss actually from BREN here.
Vietnam, just to clarify. So, you know, people don't mistake it again. It is such a treat to see this go all the way to overtime because, again, there is so much that I think, as you mentioned, right, Vietnam has to offer. Anyways, we've kind of flipped the switch again. We're going to go with BREN on the attacking side, and this is where Big BAAM struggled the most. They need to step up on this plate, or else we might be in for either a long stretch or BREN winning on their defensive side, which is never really a good thing for Big BAAM. In any case, now it seems like BREN is looking straight on to C here. And Spencer's going to be clearing some utility, but they haven't really full sent everything. They've left Vash somewhere outside of outside near their spawn, and Dubstep still holding for a lurk. So all pressures as movements come into the A side onto NTK once again to convert.
It's a good recon. Spots out. No, it doesn't spot out NTK, but it goes down immediately here. And they've burned some utility towards C. But instead, they will be committing to A. They've run this play a couple of times already, actually. So this might be quite sniffed out by now. But Crazy Guy is going to sniff out one here. Borkum, NTK! NTK with a triple here against BREN. Now Borkum in 10 seconds. Can he find the magic touch? No! It's NTK with a 4K to take down BREN Esports, closer and closer to stealing a game against BREN in their map pick, Asurai.
Damn, NTK stand for a nice try, kid, because that was some plays right there.
That was
Crazy
nice.
Guy ignited. You know, he lit the match, but it was NTK that just exploded. Look at this transition, smooth on the third, and then he whips out his blade just for good measure. This has gone so far up his head because we were looking at BREN just to dominate this, and they're losing the rounds. They're now match point.
5 versus 5 still, and nice. Oh no, he gets tagged up and through the wall. him and Wits, do they bump each other right there as he was trying to get away? It's a little bit awkward, a little bit clumsy, I think, if you ask me, for Bren, but you know, Dispenser should have lived through that. As he was trying to get away, I think he ran into Wits, who was trying to throw out a guiding light. So, not really anyone's fault, just a little bit clumsy, I think, on everybody's side here. But 4v4 now. Jesse Bash good for the hold on to one, but only finds one. But Borkum is finding two for all of his teammates instead. 3v1, 30 HP, Red Neville, but Borkum with a triple kill. Answer of his own. I can do the triple two. And BREN Esports, they refuse to give up right now. They're just stealing rounds after one after the other. And this is a brawl that we're seeing from both of these squads.
My gosh. There, I think, has been only one match that BREN also had that went to overtime. I think that was against CBT in Bind, if I am correct. So they have been put in this type of scenario, and they can win. But we'll see how that happens now on arguably their best map. Maybe it's not their best map anymore if they lose it.
Oh, they actually go ahead and they commit towards it right now. They're changing the tempo, changing the pace, but the gravity well is sucking them all in. They can't trade Dubstep. He was all alone, and Borkum is going to get the spray down, but Red Neville's right there to trade things off yet again here. Jesse Vash will get one, but it still leaves Wits all alone in a 1v3. He has a little information, but can't land the spray. Pina, it's his turn to get a triple kill here, and BREN scratching their heads what they gotta do to win on this attacking side.
Match point.
They really forced the issue on the C side there, but they got separated hard. Dorf using the Nanoswarm just at the perfect time so that Dubstep was left by his lonesome. BREN had to wait a couple of crucial seconds, but those little bit of seconds was enough for Red Neville as well as Dorf to convert and manage the rest of the BREN team. And now, once again, we're at match point, and BREN hasn't hit match point at all this this game. It's always been Big BAM. We have seen how BREN is able to stave off, especially when Dubstep can hit those op shots, and now he's just going to be anchoring the C side.
They have managed to find advantage here in the overtime, and BREN looking for overtime number 2 doesn't look likely, as they've been struggling very much on their defensive side here. And both of these teams, they're throwing out everything that they have on it. I mean, this is the point where they really need to start digging deep, man. Start digging deep. Find their way into the back of that playbook and figure something out, because both of these teams, they're running out of material, man. There's only so many strats that they can pull out for this one.
There's the immediate pull on the trigger. NTK is going to be safe for the moment. Spencer holding through the smoke, wishing he could maybe pop a shot here, but straight, smooth, and out. It was a mission, and the mission successful. Jesse Bash though popping some shots. Red Neville hit through the head, and we're down to the 4 versus 5. Everybody's just going to be coming to wrap around the site. They've left Dorf just to try to whittle out with the Nanoswarms, but the trade's still positive for BREN, and they have all the possible times to just go for the clutches here. Dorf cannot find a shot. Maybe he can, but the Spencer is hot on his tail, and he's going to be gnawing it off, and we're going to go to triple overtime here. BREN refuses, and they want to get the advantage. They want to be able to get this first game in their paws.
Triple overtime here. This is what we've got on our hands. Holy moly. It's the game that we wanted and more. Asura, you and I, we expected this to happen. Like, we expected a close game between BREN and BAM, because I feel like when we were doing this sort of breakdown of all the teams, I feel like, I said this yesterday, the team that I'm worried about for BREN the most would have been Big BAM. And they're proving exactly why. They're such a well-coordinated unit. They're such a strong team. And they're surprising everybody with how their performance just is here on this one. I mean, a lot of people would say Paper Rex would also be the other favorite, but people need to start taking Vietnam and their #1 team, Big BAM, very, very seriously, because these guys, they have been bringing the thunder here.
Thunder, lightning, it's all very, very frightening. And, well, I do have to agree with you, or not do, but I really do agree with what you mentioned there. Big BAAM, one of the scarier teams that I think, aside from PRX and Full Sense, and obviously BREN right now, have been really making strides. And it's a bit of fresh air to see that Vietnam is rising even when they were late to have their own VCT. Again, back in like April of 2021, or actually of this year. Crazy Guy spots out. He's got to be careful. Could get spotted and hit by the paranoia. He just cannot take a break here. Gets overwhelmed by Dispenser and Dubstep, and NTK gets caught out. They were peeking. They were looking for the trades, but there was no way in chance in hell that they're going to be able to make that happen. Dorf just tries to push to this one-way cloud burst that Dubstep threw out, but this 2 versus 5. I mean, if BREN lose this, it's not supposed to happen for them, but they should not, and that's going to be an almost flawless with BREN now claiming match point.
Yeah, BREN now with advantage in overtime. We still have to wait and see if BAAM can come back into this. So, BAAM, honestly, they have been a team that has been together for a minute here, but they've been together a little while, but not as long as BREN. So, this is the point where, when it comes to these triple overtime games, you start to need to rely and dig deep in terms of your experience and your mental fortitude and your endurance, most especially. You can't get tired in a best of 3, especially when map number 1 goes to triple overtime here. You have to be able to hold on strong. And this is where I think BREN has a little bit of an advantage, because they've been competing forever together, even in other titles. Big BAAM, sure, they also have experience with Crazy Guy as well. Oh, Dubstep's in a load of hurt here, but Dorf is actually to get that kill. On to Borkum. Still a 4v4 here as the numbers have all settled in here. That's going to be a pick now as Dispenser looking to go for an aggressive play here towards C-Long, but it's enough for them to actually go and fall back. They're going to play the numbers to their advantage right now. They're going to go for that 3v4. Maybe let them plant the spike as Dubstep goes and takes that heal. Maybe go for that retake here, but Dubstep has an angle. Gonna hit that shot all day, every single day here. Dubstep good for a second here, and he gets the third. BREN Esports in overtime in a decisive fashion will break the hearts of the Vietnamese fans.